Hello everyone, welcome to Weekly Current Affair Quiz. Let's start today's quiz. First question is, which Sustainable Development Goals does Earth Day align with? SDG 5 and 8, SDG 9 and 12, SDG 13 and 15 or SDG 17 and 19? The correct answer is option C, SDG 13 and SDG 15. Earth Day aligns with Sustainable Development Goals, that is SDGs 13 and 15, which are climate action and life on land respectively. SDG 13 focuses on taking urgent action to combat climate change and its impacts, while SDG 15 aims to protect, restore and promote the sustainable use of terrestrial ecosystems, including forests, to ensure biodiversity conservation. Next question is, in what year were the titles of World Chess Championship reunified? 1985, 1993, 2006 or 2014? The correct answer is option C, 2006. The titles of the World Chess Championship were reunified in 2006. This occurred in a match between the classical champion Vladimir Kramnik and FIDE champion Vasilin Topalov, organized by FIDE, thereby ending the split title era that began in 1993. Next question is, what is the purpose of the NATO ID? To identify organ donors and recipients, to track organ trafficking, to generate revenue for hospitals, or to regulate organ transplants? The correct answer is option A, to identify organ donors and recipients. The purpose of NATO ID is to uniquely identify both organ donors and recipients involved in transplant procedures. This identification system helps in accurately tracking and monitoring organ donations and transplants, ensuring transparency and regulation in the process. Next question is, what was the aim of exercise Purvi Leher? To assess readiness for maritime challenges, to test air defense capabilities, to conduct humanitarian missions, or to enhance cybersecurity? The correct answer is option A, to assess readiness for maritime challenges. The aim of exercise Purvi Leher was to assess the readiness of the Indian Navy to deal with maritime security challenges. Through this exercise, the Navy evaluated its preparedness and capability to respond effectively to various maritime threats along the East Coast. Next question is, what is the primary function of the sea urchin's hard shell? Protecting against predators, storing food, aiding in swimming, or capturing prey? The correct answer is option A, protecting against predators. The primary function of the sea urchin's hard shell is to protect it against predators, providing a physical barrier against potential threats. This shell, covered in sharp spines, acts as a defense mechanism, making it difficult for predators to consume the sea urchin. Next question is, which award is given for exceptional and distinguished service? Padma Bhushan, Padma Shri, Bharat Ratna or Padma Vibhushan? The correct answer is option D, Padma Vibhushan. Padma Vibhushan is given for exceptional and distinguished service, recognizing outstanding contributions in various fields. It is the second highest civilian award in India, awarded for achievements that significantly impact society or the nation. Now moving on to next question. How many parameters does Llama 3 model with instruction-tuned version have? 8B and 70B, 7B and 13B, 70B and 130B or 8B and 13B? The correct answer is option A, 8B and 70B. The Llama 3 model with the instruction-tuned version comes in two sizes, 8 billion parameters and 70 billion parameters. These sizes are designed to offer varying levels of complexity and performance, catering to different application needs. Next question is, what is the primary aim of the EU-India Common Agenda on Migration and Mobility? Strengthening trade relations, facilitating visa-free travel, enhancing cooperation on migration policy, or promoting tourism? The correct answer is option C, enhancing cooperation on migration policy. The primary aim of the EU-India Common Agenda on Migration and Mobility is to enhance cooperation on migration policy between the EU and India. It seeks to foster comprehensive collaboration in managing migration issues and facilitating legal migration channels. Next question is, which continent has the highest malaria burden? Europe, Africa, Asia or Australia? The correct answer is option B, Africa. Africa bears the highest malaria burden globally, with a large majority of malaria cases and deaths occurring in sub-Saharan Africa. Factors such as climate, poverty, and lack of access to healthcare contribute to the high prevalence of malaria in this region. Next question is, when was the asteroid Kamo Oleva discovered? 2010, 2016, 2020 or 2024? The correct answer is option B, 2016. The asteroid Kamo Oleva was discovered in 2016 as part of an international effort to identify potentially hazardous near-Earth asteroids. Its discovery marked a significant addition to our understanding of celestial objects near our planet. Next question is, Zero Shadow Day occurs twice a year in locations north of the Tropic of Cancer, south of the Tropic of Capricorn, between the Tropics of Cancer and Capricorn, or equator. The correct answer is option C, between the Tropics of Cancer and Capricorn. Zero Shadow Day occurs twice a year in locations between the Tropics of Cancer and Capricorn, where the sun passes directly overhead at least once a year. Next question is, which Constitutional Amendment Act introduced provisions for Panchayati Raj institutions in India? 42nd Amendment Act, 73rd Amendment Act, 74th Amendment Act, or 86th Amendment Act? The correct answer is option B, 73rd Amendment Act. The 73rd Amendment Act of 1992 introduced provisions for Panchayati Raj institutions, providing constitutional status and ensuring democratic decentralization. Next question is, which neurotransmitter deficiency is primarily associated with Parkinson plus syndrome? Dopamine, serotonin, acetylcholine, gamma aminobutyric acid. The correct answer is option A, dopamine. Parkinson plus syndrome is primarily associated with dopamine deficiency in the brain, leading to motor and non-motor symptoms. Next question is, what is the conservation status of Nilgiri Tehers according to the IUCN Red List? Endangered, vulnerable, near threatened, or least concern? The correct answer is option A, endangered. Nilgiri Tehers are classified as endangered on the IUCN Red List due to habitat loss, fragmentation, and hunting pressures. Conservation efforts are underway to protect their habitats and populations. Next question is, where is CIPRI headquartered? New York, USA, Geneva, Switzerland, Stockholm, Sweden, or London, UK? The correct answer is option C, Stockholm, Sweden. CIPRI is headquartered in Stockholm, Sweden. It operates as an independent institute funded by the Swedish government and external grants. Next question is, the Miyawaki method is primarily associated with agricultural farming techniques, urban forestry and reforestation, marine conservation methods, or sustainable fishing practices. The correct answer is option B, urban forestry and reforestation. The Miyawaki method is a technique for urban forestry and reforestation aimed at creating dense native forest in small areas to promote biodiversity and combat climate change. Next question is, which of the following is a traditional occupation of the Tiwa tribe? Fishing, agriculture, weaving, or all of the above? The correct answer is option D, all of the above. The Tiwa tribe traditionally engages in various occupations including agriculture, fishing, weaving, and other handicrafts. Next question is, what is the main objective of the Coalition for Disaster Resilient Infrastructure, or CDRI? To provide immediate relief during disasters, to enhance disaster preparedness and response, to promote infrastructure development in disaster-prone areas, or to ensure long-term resilience of infrastructure against disasters. The correct answer is option D, to ensure long-term resilience of infrastructure against disasters. The main objective of CDRI is to promote the long-term resilience of infrastructure against natural disasters by enhancing infrastructure design, construction, and operation. Next question is, which ministry is responsible for implementing the National Clean Air Program in India? Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, Ministry of Urban Development, or Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare? The correct answer is option A, Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. The Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change is responsible for implementing NCAP in India. Last question is, cholera primarily affects which part of the body? Lungs, stomach, intestines, or liver? The correct answer is option C, intestines. Cholera primarily affects the intestines, specifically the small intestine, where the Vibrio cholerae bacteria produce toxins that lead to severe diarrhea and dehydration. So that's all for today. Do share your scores and reviews about the program. Thanks for watching. For more informative content, like, share and subscribe, and do not forget to press the bell icon to get the notifications.